going through an emotional breakdown because of watching this show. Having a bad hair day and I don't even feel like putting my contacts in. I need to watch happier things. So, season 4 of The Killing premiered on August 1st. I finished watching it a couple days ago. So I'm going to do a joint review of seasons 3 and 4. I did a joint review of seasons 1 and 2, which you can watch. I have a link in the thing. That review had no spoilers, but this one is going to have a lot. So if you haven't seen the show or just don't want to be spoiled, don't watch this. So season 3 focuses on a past case that was mentioned in seasons 1 and 2. It was the case that got Lyndon put in a psychiatric hospital. The case was of Ray Seward, a father and husband who was accused of murdering his wife while his son Adrian was in the house. It comes to Lyndon's attention that he may have been wrongly accused of the murder because a body that was recently found had the same types of wounds that the wife's body had. So after leaving the Seattle police force, Lyndon decides to come back so she can work on this new case with Holder while also digging deeper into the Ray Seward case. Another new character is introduced, Lyndon's old partner who worked together with her on the Seward case, Lieutenant Skinner, who is now the head of the task force. An important note, Lyndon and Skinner had an affair back in the day, and it starts back up again in season 3. Along with girls currently going missing, a lot of unidentified bodies are discovered in a lake, and they're all bodies of young girls. And it's presumed that it's the same killer. So season 3 focuses on this new case and on catching that killer, who has earned the name of the Pied Piper, and also focuses on the Seward case and if he actually did kill his wife. The season is 10 episodes long and has a pretty gritty ending and also has a big twist at the end that ties into season 4. Basically, Ray Seward isn't proven innocent before his execution, so he does die. But the big twist is that Lieutenant Skinner ends up being the Pied Piper and has been killing women and teenage girls for years and murdered Ray Seward's wife. So Ray Seward was in fact innocent. So Lyndon finally figures it out. Lyndon and Holder both have the opportunity to arrest Skinner, and Lyndon shoots him. And that is how season 3 ends. Can't get more happy-go-lucky than that. The most interesting part for me were the scenes with Ray Seward because he was played by guest star Peter Sarsgaard. I mean, once you find out that he is innocent and then you think back to his behavior and how he was leading up to his execution, you just realize that he's such a complex character. He doesn't even get to properly say goodbye to his son, and that's just really heartbreaking. Lyndon just never gets a break. She basically knows that Seward is innocent, and then finds out that a man that she's been working with for years and has been getting with is a Pied Piper and has been killing women for years. I just want to hug her. She just hates herself, and Holder, the person who's been there for her, can't even really comfort her because how do you help someone get through all of that? It's just, So moving on to season 4. Season 4 picks up right after Lyndon kills Skinner. Season 4 focuses on Holder and Lyndon covering up Skinner's murder and also focuses on a new case involving the brutal slaughter of a family where the only survivor is the son, who was set up to make it look like that he committed the murders, or he actually did commit the murders and attempted to kill himself, but it backfired. And he ends up in the hospital with amnesia, not remembering that night at all. For a final season 2 show, it's pretty darn good. Plus in 6 episodes, they really get a lot in without it feeling too cramped. Kind of makes up for the first 2 seasons being way too long and also dragging out, so it's nice to have a compact final season. And it's pretty much as heavy, if not a bit heavier than previous seasons. Also, Jonah Allen guest stars in the show as the head of the military boys' school that the son Kyle attends. It's really amazing to watch her character and Lyndon kind of go up against each other because they're just these really complicated women, but they're really well-written characters because they're flawed, but they're so determined, and it's just seeing them go up against each other is really amazing to watch. And there's still the relationship between Holder and Lyndon, and also just their own separate issues. They're my favorite detective duo ever. I've said it, I love them. But yeah, they still have their own separate issues, like Holder's girlfriend, Kaylee from Firefly. But yeah, Holder's girlfriend is now pregnant, so he's dealing with that. And he does end up asking her to marry him, so that's nice. I think I can retire this then. And there's still stuff with Lyndon and her son Jack, and she just feels like she can't really trust anyone anymore, even Holder. And at one point she ends up pointing a gun at him, and she just really is not, her trust is just not a thing anymore. I think most fans of the show will be happy with how the show ends because of closure. The new case is wrapped up really depressingly, which I know was a surprise because it's such a lighthearted show. Turns out that the son Kyle did in fact kill his whole family, which some fans weren't really happy about, not because it was a horrible thing to witness, but because it was kind of obvious. I think they did at least a decent job of diverting that to the end of the season. And in terms of the whole cover-up, Lyndon does end up confessing to killing Skinner after one of the detectives starts digging into Skinner's disappearance. But we get a special guest show up, Mayor freaking Richmond from seasons 1 and 2, saunters in on his wheelchair. It's not the best word choice. But basically he comes in and says that they're covering up the whole Skinner thing because it's gonna look bad that the lieutenant of the Seattle Police Department killed a bunch of women. So yay for political cover-ups. And after that, Lyndon is just done. She hands in her badge and just walks away. And it flash forwards about 4 or 5 years to Holder and his daughter. It's implied that he's not with his girlfriend anymore, but it still seems like his life is good now. He's not with the police department anymore, but he's gotten more involved with the church. He set up his own church group for addicts, it seems, and seems to be doing really well. And Lyndon shows up, yay, and they talk and stuff. But she basically apologizes to him for not trusting him and realizes that he was really the one person who didn't give up on her. And I just love them because they're so damaged in different ways and they're really different people, but they're still able to kind of repair each other in small ways. And I guess it's good that she did have that time to herself, even though it was 5 years, but she did have that time, which I think she just needed to be on her own, and it just shows that after all of that, she realized that even though Seattle was where all this horrible stuff happened, there were still good things, obviously her son Jack, but also Holder, and she realized that it was worth going back for him. And then they make it seem like she's gonna leave and be off on her own again. But then she comes back and meets up with Holder outside of the church, and he comes out and he smiles and she smiles, and then it freaking ends. I think it was the perfect way to end the show. It's not explicit, they don't make out, even though we kind of want them to, but it still kind of means more that they didn't, because when they're talking, you can tell that there's so much that they want to say to each other. There's just so much emotion. I feel like it would have been ruined if they started, making out or just even kissing. It would have been really upsetting if they didn't even just have that conversation. So there really is closure there. But I thought it was just a bit of a bonus that you see her just come back and that she doesn't just leave again. I mean, do they end up together? Maybe, but just the fact that you just get to see her come back for him and let someone into her life just really means a lot. So I really like this show. I think as a whole, with how season 4 ended. It definitely upped the show, I think. So I'm gonna give The Killing a nice 4 out of 5 stars. But what did you guys think of the show, if you've seen it? And did you think season 4 was a good way to end it? Did you get the closure that you wanted? Let me know in the comments. Okay guys, that's it for me. Hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Toodles!